January 8th, 10 a.m. District Court Room No. 4?
What even? Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. Again. Fence is ready, Your Honor.
Ready and waiting, as always, Your Honor.
Very good. We'll get underway at once. Yesterday we had the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of, shall I say, issues.
Mark on the rim of the cup shows the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked up with his left hand. And he drank it down, like this!
Thank you, Mr. Godo. Visuals withstanding. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made them effectively deaf in that ear.
It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick?
Well, they don't like you, Your Honor. The
No?
world, you see, keeps turning and keeps turning, and we must turn with it.
You lost me already, Mr. Godo. So what you're saying is that I should spin in my chair. Ah, crud, my chair doesn't spin. Bailiff, help me install this new chair.
Bailiff, spin the chair for me!
Whee! This is so fun! Better write this down in my gossip journal. Spinning is fun.
Okay. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You gotta change with the times. That's one of my rules.
Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions?
You know the answer to these riddles. Oh, wait, no.
You know the answers to these riddles?
The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here. He was throwing us off the scent. But I can bring it back with the smell of coffee. And today I'll prove it. Smack.
Very well. Let the first witness take the stand. Oh God, who is this guy?
And you are?
Oh, bonjour everyone! I'm John Armstrong, the owner and chef of La Troisième Restaurant Enchanté. Ew.
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 Forgive me for asking you, witness, but, are you a woman?
Oh la la, monsieur. As you can see, I am leopard and puggy gentleman.
On the day of the incident, you are in Tribulations' kitchen.
Fuck this shit, I'm out!
Isn't that right?
With you, monsieur.
Hmm?
Everything feels right.
Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? Well, I mean, we've intimidated him so much that smoke comes out of his visor.
Don't worry, he just wasted 2 cups of coffee already, so we're on the right track.
Very well. Your testimony, please, witness. Tell the court what happened at that day at Tribulations.
We volunteers. I don't know how to speak the French. When it all happened, there was just 2 customers in my restaurant. If I remember, I was experimenting with some new art decor that day. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Perhaps that is what the old man was looking for. The cup, the earpiece, and the glasses. He would have seen everything and was in reverse, no?
Mirror!
Oui, une grande mirror. La most enormous mirror.
And suddenly, the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it.
That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. It would have made everything appear backwards. What the hell? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. Now then, Mr. Wright, do your cross-examination.
Cross-examination.
And who are the two customers exactly?
My, of course, the young man who died. And the other not so young man.
You're referring to yesterday's witness, I presume. What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence.
We need some hard evidence first if we're gonna bring him up, don't we?
I guess I'll just have to try a different approach for now. You're experimenting with Art Deco. How come I never heard about that before today?
You are not familiar with the language of interior design, Monsieur.
Stay on topic. Now, why did you tell the court about this before?
But I did, just a few moments ago.
Ahem! Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned. Are you referring to some sort of decorature?
Decoction.
Decorature? Is that what it said? No. Art Deco. It's a style of design. Your Honor. He's talking about interior design. Walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing. Oh, I see. That kind of deco.
I was trying to achieve a more effeminate look for my restaurant.
You add law to the end. That does not make it French.
That's why I added law at the beginning.
I don't think that's how it works.
I was planning the most bold remodeling of Le Decor. Oui!
How big of a mirror are we talking about here?
Boof, something about 4 meters wide and, oui, about 2 meters high.
Let's see if 1 meter is about 1 yard. Holy crap on a frame in the glass. That's huge.
Wow. That was fancy.
I was intending to install on the ceiling eventually.
The ceiling? Is there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember.
Might as known, but I decided not to go with it in the end.
What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror or not? Press harder?
Let's do it.
If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. Well, there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimonies.
But
You didn't ask, Trite. You only have yourself to blame for such sloppy work.
What?
The mirror was delivered to the Tribune on the day before the incident.
Really?
As Mr. Armstrong justified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end.
This just doesn't add up. Even if the mirror was delivered to Tribune, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime.
Ha! If you want to doubt someone, Trite, look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you would be dubious enough.
So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror. Normally, I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object.
Normally? How does that normality come into this? That's lame, Trite. Even for you.
Huh?
Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it? Where does that leave the porky-headed liar and the top-knot chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here? We'll try it!
Ah! Not the hair!
I do not have a top knot.
Mr. Godo is correct. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument.
bien, logic as one in la day.
Everything. He would have seen everything in reverse.
Oui.
Hey, Nick, we should take a second think about what old CD said in his testimony.
Oh yeah, I already figured it out.
How do you phrase it again?
The boy was wearing a earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his box. No question! You can lock me up if I'm robbing you with your left ear. What?
The fuck is that voice?
Squawk! And then use the same end to pick up You saw everything straight in the reflecting mirror. Everything you said was on the left would actually be on the right, right?
And that clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess. Or does it?
Ha!
It's kinda hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror, but...
Do you think OT saw everything through a reflection?
if he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony.
That just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We just gotta dig deeper.
We figured it out. Yeah. The game even did it for us. Now I gotta Glenn.
Yeah. Present?
Yep.
Yep. The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over to Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? It's worse! So to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in the mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side.
Exactement. You see, Monsieur, now that you think about it, it is not so odd, no?
Unfortunately for you, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in the mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of the head? Order! Mr. Wright has a point, you know? If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye.
How bitter. Try it, you should have taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time.
Are we talking about your coffee, or something completely different?
I don't understand the way the witness thinks.
How he thinks!
You remember this, I presume?
The I broke the vase, sorry apology, Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony?
Exactly. The woman has one very grievous habit of throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. What's the most striking thing about Mr. L?
Clearly it's the victim's eyepiece.
And that's my point. The old man strikes again.
Hey, I'm not an old man.
Mr. L's H&D made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they're both on his left ear. Do you hear? His left ear. Ha! Well, try it.
That's the worst but best impression of Kudo ever. Oh, he was impersonating Kudo. Don't.
Wow, I really thought he was OT for me there. Good.
Enough! I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony.
Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of contradiction you found is just a rash.
Mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears.
Oui, I can explain. Please, if you look at the plans of the restaurant.
The mirror.
Alors, is everyone sitting comfortably?
Oh, that's gonna be in the testimony.
Oh no.
La mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves.
Oh, that could be an interesting thing. Wait, but... if he's sitting on the...
Oh, that's what you would think, though. Alright, let's just get... There was only one scene from which you could have seen an image of the victim.
But that's not where he said he was sitting, right?
He never said where exactly he sat.
Oh, he never did?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was the seat at the table next to the victim. That was where the old man was sitting. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it's not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
Well, I see no problems with the explanation we've just heard.
Well, the obvious contradiction is the very last bit he said.
What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing us and men like this.
Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again.
I hate that guy. He said he didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that?
Volunteers, of course!
Well, they're gonna have to make a huge, huge parade and fanfare about it. We might as well go directly to it.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examination,
After
please.
saving, of course.
We're still safe scumming?
I mean, you might as well.
I like how the game's treating us like idiots now after the disaster that was the first time around.
Maybe it has the right to.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't touch anything else, you say?
That's the sports paper. You want a lotto ticket.
You didn't touch things, you say? This one, right?
Yeah, it should be, right?
No.
Come on! You lie!
Clearly faulty.
Oh, the medicine.
Oh.
Let's try that again.
Let's do
Unless they're
that.
treating us like idiots. Unless they're treating us like idiots, but in another sense.
I mean, it's this game. It's always possible.
It's always possible. It is possible. Okay, okay, let's go back to standard procedure. Standard procedure time.
This is what we get.
Yep, okay.
This is your fault.
You know what? I thought they were making a big fuss about it, so you know what? Might as well.
It was red herring.
Goddamn red herring. Ugh. Alright.
Here we go again. So, run this by me again. The mirror was here, correct?
We.
Really? Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It'd be in the way.
Look who's talking, Trey.
Huh?
You're obstructing my view, among other things.
But, this is what I see in the courtroom.
Tribulations' charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. Unlike you, Trey.
I tell you, monsieur, la mirror was there in the middle of the restaurant.
And where would that be?
Ooh la la! Look how you lean towards me. I always attract the younger boys. Maybe I should keep you in suspension a little longer.
Mr. Armstrong, tell the court now!
I attract the other ones too, you know. And so, shall I tease you too?
Ugh.
I like the way this is going. We're racing a very hot summer, so I'm afraid you'll be waiting a long time.
I bet she has more cream skin and cappuccino perfume.
Bien, I will tell you, there was only one siphon which you could have seen.
Okay.
So why can you only see the victim from that particular seat?
My monsieur, isn't it obvious none? If you look at the plans, you understand. The victim would have been reflected in the mirror like so. If you were sitting at that table next to him, you would have seen everything none.
So that's the seat OT was sitting on that day. When the poisoning happened.
The other man was sitting at the table next to the victim. Why does that seem kind of odd?
Oh, let's check the crime photo. Silently nodding our heads together.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, now we figured it out. Hopefully.
Here.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Try this. Alright!
We got somewhere.
Awesome.
This piece of evidence contradicts with testimony we've heard, Your Honor. The crime photo? Yes, this photo... Oh. Yeah.
Oh, you were thinking of something else? Wait, what? What were you thinking?
I'm not telling you.
What were you thinking?
I'm not telling you because I know you will ridicule me like you always do.
Are you thinking about the mirror or something?
No, I'm thinking of something else, and I'm not gonna tell you because you will ridicule
I'm gonna
me.
read the fucking description to this video. Damn it!
Yeah, but I'm not gonna put it there because I know you're gonna look through it.
Oh fuck!
What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright?
I'm gonna write an angry comment.
Should not exist. Sounds like you're describing yourself, Trey.
Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement.
Okay, if you know it now, you should be able to play it out directly. Yeah.
What is this something that should not exist in this photo? This thing. I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture. The vase. What possible connection does that have to witness testimony? Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table. Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence.
The vase. Oh, the testimony, right?
Yeah, because he's...
Eh.
I'm going to be looking forward to reading your angry comment. There was one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the victim.
I'm the victim.
I can't English.
Yes, you can.
There's an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all.
Don't be an idiot, Trey. That's impossible. Seat's all one could have seen the victim's reflection from.
Exactly. There's only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Tribune that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie.
Don't try to confuse the court, Trey. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase. While the policemen were taking their time getting the crime scene.
Unfortunately, Mr. Godo, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary, in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? I was right! There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we turn back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear which he couldn't hear?
You will get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Trey, this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw?
If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it.
Are you gonna be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick?
There's more than just one contradiction, Maya.
What do you mean?
Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table. And there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up.
I'm lost.
Well, that's right, let's do the answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. That doesn't seem right.
It has to be the first one, right?
Made a mistake. Wouldn't that just get back to where we've been?
Just do, the other ones make no sense at all.
I'm gonna say regardless.
Don't worry, the game will explain it to us. I'll just watch.
Clearly, Mr. Kudo made a mistake.
Mr. Trite, you're the one who brought up all these contradictions.
And?
If you're trying to tell us the old man just made a mistake, we can wrap up this case right now with a guilty verdict.
How about it, Mr. Wright? Should I just declare your client guilty?
Is this the best you can come up with, Nick? Oh, come on.
So yes, about that, Random?
Okay, so this case makes no sense. Let's cut to the last one then.
You suck. Remember that one song that Weird Al did? We're great, and you suck.
Great. I don't remember.
I think it was the sports song.
Anyway.
This case is riddled with contradictions. Yet there's one very simple answer that clears them all up. And what is that? The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed, and the incident the victim experienced, were two completely different events. Huh.
What?
Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Elg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there's nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Order! Order in the court! Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom!
Clark Gramps, why don't you clear it out here, huh?
What did you say?!
Troy, are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup?
Oh yes, I am. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elg and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo.
Get real, Troy. Why would anyone want to do that?
Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent in his testimony about was...
Serving gum out of a cappuccino. But she put something in it. Oh, that's her serving gum right there in the defendant's chair. What's up?
It's so hard to believe, but... There is one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee.
Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's store was fake as well? True, there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but...
Oh. I think I know who the fake waitress was. There's only one person it could be.
It's Maggie Bird the entire time!
No, you fucking idiot!
It's also true that the ship was there. Who knows what was happening?
That's right! Well, witness! If your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct?
Oh la la, this is most difficult for me.
No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Trey Band that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. The defense's request for additional testimony is granted. You will accurately explain, in detail, the event in the restaurant that day, witness.
Oui.
The restaurant.
In the restroom.